Hey, hi boys and girls. Welcome to Friday, or Fun Friday, for January 15th. Well, I'm pretty excited. I was at the hatchery all morning, in fact, a little past lunch actually. But I picked up our eggs and milk for the stream walk, and I'm still hoping, I know I was kind of bummed out we couldn't do the dissection this year, but I'm still hoping we can do the stream walk with the second graders, all right? But anyway, so I'm just going to talk a little bit through what I did today. So I picked up a bunch of eggs. In fact, I've got about a liter of eggs right here. I don't know if you can see that. A lot of eggs. And I picked up from the female, right? And then I also have milk. There's probably enough milk here to fertilize a million salmon. They're actually microscopic, even though you can see them in the bag like that. Oh, by the way, it's M-I-L-T. Funny story, one year I was telling the boys and girls how I would use milt to fertilize the eggs. Milt's just another term in fisheries, which would be sperm, right? So I was telling one of my kids about that, and he wasn't listening all that carefully. So the next morning after I went through the whole process that I'm going to show you right here, he came back the next day, and his mom called me and said, "What have you been telling my kid?" And she knew me, so she knows, okay, sometimes I tell some wild stories. But anyway, the child would not eat his cereal. And the reason he would not eat his cereal is because his mom poured milk on it. He confused M-I-L-T, which is what I have in the bag, with M-I-L-K. So he refused to eat his cereal because he thought he would get pregnant. We straightened it all out during human growth and development. Anyway, just kind of a funny story. So anyway, what I've got here right now is about 1 liter of eggs, okay? And I'm going to pour them in here right now. Teacher's lunchroom. They'll probably wonder why some other stuff tastes funny. Hey, shh, don't tell them who took the bowl. So let me put that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this milk. And by the way, typically a female, these are all coho salmon this year. Usually I make you figure it out. But typically, a female has about 3,000 eggs. So that's not even close to what one female would have. Okay? So now I'm going to take the milk and I'm going to put it in because, you know, you need both you need chromosomes from both the father and mother for it to actually be a fish, right? It's nothing until you have both parts. So I'm going to do that. Now, you're going to see some films later on, but I grabbed milk from a couple different males, same with females too, because I want to make sure that I have genetic variability, right? I want to get different traits from different fish. So I'm going to put the other bag in here. And again, there's so much of this here that I could actually probably fertilize a million eggs if I wanted. All right, there's that. And then, what am I looking for? And I'll just stir it with my finger. I'm just going to stir these up. And fish eggs have something called a micropyle. And basically what that is that's a little hole. And that once the sperm finds that opening, the egg shuts instantly. Now what's interesting about salmon eggs is, because different animals are different the way their eggs and the sperm and all that work, right? But what's interesting with these is, you know, normally the two salmon are laying side by side, right? Male and female. And when the eggs get dropped, the male has to drop his milk in the water too. And that sperm has less than 10 seconds to reach that egg. If they don't reach the egg, they die. In fact, when you're in class, I wish I had better technology, but when you see a salmon sperm and you put it in water, you'll see it barely moving, but when it hits the water, it goes shh, all of a sudden like that. Looks like a pollywog going 100 miles an hour is what it looks like. And again, for the reason I told you, if they don't reach the egg, that's it. So anyway, I'm surprised that they have the success rate they do, but they do. So, by the way, I'm still waiting for this. I'm just, they can still get fertilized to an extent. Here's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see this at all. A little bit. With that in here. In a few minutes, I'm going to pour water in. It's just the last step to make sure that the sperm have reached the egg. While I'm waiting for that to happen, I thought I'd show you the tank. You know, we've talked a lot about engineering and stuff, and this tank is one of my engineering projects. Every year, the salmon would outdo me in some way. They would do something that would cause problems. So I've had to do lots of things. You'll notice I have a huge filter system here. If you can see down the bottom here, when you come back, you'll see I've got filter medium down there. You know that the thing that breaks down fish waste are basically a couple types of bacteria. I know you always hear bad things about bacteria, but there's lots of good things too. I have Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter, and so when you have lots of surface area they grow on, they actually eat the waste. Isn't that great? That's what happens when sewage goes to a sewage treatment plant. It's bacteria doing all the work, right? So, hey, just want to put a plus out there for some of the bacteria. And so, yeah, so I have my water circulating. I had to put a screen up here because salmon are always trying to go upstream. They get caught in my filter. And obviously I have a refrigerator unit because salmon grow best probably, I would say, in the 40s. When it starts to get in the 50s, things get kind of dicey. They have to worry about disease, fungus, and stuff. But this recirculates. I had to keep the temperature down, keep it contained, so you'll see all the styrofoam on here like this. That's what this is about. I know they seem like simple things now, but these are all things I had to think about. Like I said, I designed my own whole filter system. I had a little math to do, figure out surface area compared to fish. Hey, let's take a break for now. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. This will be kind of like the final step, and before I actually, I'm going to go ahead and wash them a little bit, go over to the sink and wash them a little bit, and then put them in. I've got, see the screen that's hanging here? Normally, they're, fish are another amazing thing. So not only are they fertilizing the eggs, sitting side by side, fertilizing eggs, but the female is doing all the work. She's making something called a redd, it's a nest. And so she'll bury the eggs in the rock to keep them safe. And they're very particular where they make their nest, by the way. Usually you'll see them at the tail out of like a pecan section because they need lots of motion from water to keep them well oxygenated. And of course they need to keep them buried because predators would eat all the eggs. And the babies don't know any better either. They would swim out of their redd if they didn't, if they weren't in this redd. In fact, there's something called, they're negatively phototactic. When they're initially born, they got this big thing that looks like a refrigerator. You'll see some of the pictures in my room when you get back. So they're very awkward, very easy to catch. And so they don't like the light. Mother Nature's way or their design of keeping them so that they don't put themselves in danger. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, they're going to hang in this basket. Normally they'd be stuck in the rocks. The benefit is that you get to see them in here. In fact, normally when they hatch out, you wouldn't even see them because they'd still be in the rocks until they reach a stage called buttoning up, which, again, we'll talk about the life cycle more when we get back. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and shut this right now, shut these, and shut my filter back up. And again, I have all this on here because I have to keep the temperature down. Like I said, you'll be able to see all this when you come back. Okay? So anyway, with that, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to go over. I'm going to kind of wash out the extra milk I have, put it in the tank. Oh, and then I was going to tell you, we're going to have a little contest later on. You can actually predict when they're going to hatch by math. And during either math or science, one of these days, I'm going to talk about how that contest works. No, you don't have to participate in the contest, but there will be a reward for the person that wins at the end that can predict the date. I'll make you predict either morning or afternoon, you know, so that's coming your way. Anyway, with that, that's it. I hope you enjoyed your quick little lesson on salmon and reproduction. All right, thanks for coming. Talk to you later. Bye.